I think I'm live, guys. Hey, gang, this is Mike with Mr. No Fluff, and how to escape the easy money debt race. Now, I've gone many different places, and I somehow overhear people talking or know individuals that have decent job positionings. Um, Let me give you some examples. I may know a manager that works at a big corporation, and she gets all the 401s and health insurance, all that good stuff. And she has a full-time job, then she has another job, and then she does, sells makes up at the third for her own business. Okay. And just the other day I heard her telling that, she was bitching about her third business, which was her own opportunity to free herself from this rat race. That, after this job she has to go and deliver stuff because on Cyber Monday she had received a lot of orders for makeup. But I thought she was in the smarter camp versus other people that I know that are also managers and they also have one job or two jobs. And my thing is that if you have a job, if you have a college degree and you have a career, or if you don't have a college degree and you have a full-time job, you're working 40 hours or plus, and that 40 hours doesn't pay for your living expense, then why would you get another job? That doesn't make any sense. So again, if you have a job already and you're working 40 hours, or if you have a career, you went to college and you're working 40 hours, and it's not paying all your expenses, why would you add another job? Okay, apparently the job is not working. And I don't understand this, and because I see so many people in the same exact situations with high intellectual degrees, and they're still looking for a second job or so on. Now, what I would do is, if I had a full-time job and let's say I went the right path, which is like, hey, go to junior high, go to high school, go to college, and you get a good career. And I did that, and if I wasn't getting a job that was paying for all my expenses and my debt and all my mortgages, not that I have any of this stuff, I'm just using myself as an example, if I did, then I wouldn't go get another job because that job failed me. So what I would do in this situation is that I would start a part-time business, okay? I would try to invest in myself. I would try to be my dreams. I wouldn't try to do the same exact thing I just did that I got failure. And what was that? Which is get a job and sit in traffic and have a yes sir, no sir, and that doesn't make any sense because it's not paying. The other thing about a job is that it's like the ceiling. That's all you can make, maybe till you get another raise. Where if you're even a part-time entrepreneur, and the ceiling is the sky, the moons and the stars. You can be whatever you want to be. You can turn into a $3,000 a month business, 6,000, 30,000, 100,000, 30 million, $1 billion business. Who knows? And there's all kinds of stories out there of people that have taken their business to big levels, small levels, freedom levels, etc. So if you want to get out of the rat race and you have a job, the solution is not to get another job. Okay? For me, if I was in that situation, which I've never had a job in my life, I never had a job. I've never had a resume. Since high school, I just was my own boss. Like my very first job, I washed cars in junior high, and I realized how hard it the job was, why it sucked to have a boss, and I say, no, I don't want to work for anyone anymore, and I work for myself. Now, many of us don't even have the idea that we can work for ourselves. Like I was sitting at a grocery store the other day, and this old lady came in. She came out there because she didn't have a phone. She was trying to use the internet to make calls, and she was pleading to find a job with the person on the other hand call. And I thought to myself, man, lady, I mean, you walk all this way, you could have done some other stuff. Like, what other stuff can she do? There's so many different things you can do in America or any of these free countries. Whatever you love, right? And make money. You don't even need to have any money. I have this thing called a new flip. I show you how to make money with $100. Just put $100 in, and you make money. But you gotta put energy into it, just like you have to put energy into a job. But so what's crazy, what's ironic is that one, many people don't even have the idea or the light bulb go bing and say, look, man, instead of having another job, because my first job doesn't pay, I gotta get a second job. Why don't I just invest in myself, whatever it is? If that's like buying X and selling it for a little bit higher, buying Y and selling it for a little bit higher, or if I have a skill or cut people's hair. I'm just giving you stupid ideas. There's just walk the dog, wash cars. I mean, those are things that I've actually done to generate money. It may be equivalent to what you would get paid at a job. It might be even less. But for me, when I started as an entrepreneur, even until today, I'm working for less than I'm worth. Right now, I can get a job and get paid a lot more. Okay, but I'm working to be a public speaker. I'm working to be a writer, and if I can say, for example, if I was worth $10 an hour, I would work for myself for $5 an hour because I was still happy that I'm learning stuff. Because when I have a job, I may learn stuff, but it's so little. It's just like a cubicle idea. I'm learning this stuff, but as an entrepreneur, I'm learning so much. So many of my students and many people that I realize is that if they have a job and they want to be their dreams, they may work 40 hours in a job, but for their dreams, they think they only have to work this much and they're going to get results. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make sense. If you work 40 hours for your job, you got to, for your dream, you got to put the same amount of time in, if not more, shoot, or a little bit more besides this much. So, and that's not because they're bad people, it's because by having jobs, it has conditioned them to think that I need to get a reward immediately. It has conditioned them to not take a risk. It has conditioned them to work very, very slow instead of fast. It's conditioned them not to think and like, I don't know what to do. So it freezes them, or it's conditioned them to want to like learn because too much scared to go do it. Or too much, what if this happens, what if this happens? Too much in the brain. So, to get out of the rat race, if you have a job, full-time job, I don't think, my opinion, is to get another job. This is not financial advice or anything, but it just doesn't make logical sense. What I've done is never had a job, but if I did have a job and I didn't like my job or wasn't making enough money, which I never had a job before, but if that was the situation, I would not go get a second job. It doesn't make any sense. And I know so many people like this that have done this, like people that are management or making good money, but they get another job because they have too much bills. Maybe they have, they have too much bills, whatever, credit card, car payment, etc., so on, okay? And that is one way to bring your money up, but it's so little way because that, it takes most of your life away now. Now you have no time for life, okay? And you're just being a machine, okay? Where if you invested in yourself, whatever that is, write a book, whatever, and just did that and brought it to the market and worked on that, you would have a better chance of getting at the situation, okay? And the situation, whatever that situation is for you, okay? So you're better off being your dreams and maybe me taking less money just to learn the ropes and, being your dreams versus, taking more money but being trapped for life or, however long, okay? But that's just the way I do things, and that's why I'm always an entrepreneur. I've never had a job. I couldn't see myself having a job. I would never want to have a job. Even whatever it is, I'm not. If it comes to where I have to get a job, like I'll do whatever's required as an entrepreneur. Like if I came up with the idea to go scrub toilets, then I would go scrub toilets. I wouldn't say I wouldn't mind it. Of course, I would mind scrubbing toilets, but I'm not gonna let my ego get in the way of me being my dreams or me having the freedom that I want, which is not having a job. Because I know that if I scrub that toilet, I'm gonna scrub it so good and not be mad about it that I'm gonna systemize it. I'm gonna come up with a fast way to do it, and then I'm gonna write it down, and I'm gonna package it, and I'm gonna hire people to go do it for me, and then I'm gonna do the marketing and etc. I'm not gonna be scrubbing it forever. Where many people that I know that I coach and that I don't coach, I realize is they have an ego and they're not willing to scrub the toilet. Like if I just showed you and you a way to make $3,000 a month or $6,000 a month extra, if it's not what you like, then you're not gonna do it. Okay, doesn't matter if it's gonna give you financial freedom. We're at most of us are at levels like we want to do what we like. I mean, like at some point, everyone that works out, they don't like working out because it hurts, it's painful, it's sore. Eventually, they like everyone that starts playing the guitar. At first, they don't like it; it hurts their little fingers. But eventually, the body adapts. Same thing in martial arts, same thing with anything. So if you're just waiting to do just what you like or love, sometimes you may not be in a situation to do that. Then you have to do whatever's required. So if you want to be a ballerina, and for example, and right now they're only taking maids, and you can make some money with being a maid cleaning house, then depends on your morals and standards. But if you're not willing to take that being a maid and making $3,000 or $6,000 a month, or because you're waiting for this other thing, or you think you're too good for this other thing, then you're gonna miss out on life. Because you could take this opportunity being a maid and make money out of it, and then go back to being your dream. So that's where the problem is, that many of us think that if we want to be our ultimate dream, that today we're going to be that top actor, or today we're going to be that top investor, or today we're going to be that top whatever, and then understand that it took a long time for that person to get to that place. And it's just not going to be like this, right? It's just not going to be like this. You just got to go out there and do it. Okay. Anyways, guys, if you want to get a debt race, you have to put your ego up. You got to go do stuff that you don't want to do, and that's what it is. If it requires you to go to scrub toilets, you got to do it. I mean, end the story, dude. And you got to smile when you do it. You can't do it with an angry heart and all mad about it. Like, I used to have a moving company, and I used to have to do moves. When I first started, when I was living in my car out of college, man, at first, okay, I was hating it because it was so hard. I was buff. I was working out all the time, but it was such a hard work. Man, I had to do 3 moves a day in Texas heat. Man, moving 3 houses or 2 houses. I mean, I would get up like so early in the morning, and then I would go home so late. My body be all bruised up. 3 months straight just to get the business going. Okay, and I didn't want to do this. I had a college degree. I could have got a job for $40,000, $30,000, $50,000, like my other friends did. But I just did it because I knew that one day I'm not going to be there. But the point I was making is that during the process, I had to be positive. And I didn't learn this lesson until I was working with a gentleman named Arthur, and he didn't speak any English. And I was working with him, and he was always like whistling and smiling, and he was hot, and he was standing right next to me working, and I thought to myself, dude, he's just a helper, and I'm the owner of the company. I'm making all the money. He's making so little money. Why is he so happy? We're doing moves in Texas weather, and this is our 3rd move. Every day he'd be happy, and I'd be like, oh man, even though I'm about to make this big chunk of money, I'm just starting out. But I would still be like, right? I wasn't happy doing it because it's so hard work. So I learned a lesson from this guy that, hey man, you just gotta, whenever you do with something, you gotta do it with love and care, and you just gotta be happy with it. And then once I realized that, then things started to change for me, and my business just blew up because when I was doing the moves, I was happy versus unhappy, and I tried to do the best I could. I always try to do the best I can, but sometimes I do the best I can with the wrong mindset, which is, hey, I'm not all happy. And I learned from this guy that, hey, I had to change it up, and if I'm gonna wash a car, I'm gonna give it the best I can and the very best move. I have to wash a bike, I'm gonna do the same exact thing. If I'm gonna set up a landing page, or I'm gonna talk to a home seller, or whatever, I'm gonna do a real estate deal, I'm gonna do a mentor, not only gonna have to do it good, we have to do it with the best mindset as well. Because I'm living life, I'm alive, so I don't work for the man. And so that's what I'm trying to teach you guys, that you don't, if you want to leave the man, or if you're tired of having multiple jobs, whatever, you got to take a risk. You got to, man. I mean, you got to take a risk. Besides the risk, you have to be able to leap and have faith in yourself. Okay. The other thing you have to do is be able to just close your mind and know what you want, and not listen to so many different people, like your parents, your cousins, your co-workers, all the blind people trying to lead you. You can't do that. Okay, you gotta just you already know what you want. You have all the stuff inside of you, right? You just gotta quiet all the noise outside, because there's so much noise, the TV, the radio, the truck, all this pollution. You just gotta quiet that yourself up, and it'll come to you. You don't have to do anything, okay? And then your next job is just to take action. You just gotta take action and don't think, dude. The more you think, you'll never go anywhere. You just be thinking, and that's the problem with our society, is we're too smart. We just think in our mind, and we don't know that there's more intelligence out there besides our intellect, like the intelligence of doing, right? The intelligence of failing, and learning from that. That's big intelligence right there. And other stuff that we don't understand, like the mysteries that, when we go for our dreams, we can tap into the ether and get all the information that we want already in you. So, but if you have a job, if you work in some place and you don't like it, or not only do you not like it, you're not making enough money, then you get another job. I think it's suicide, because now you have no time, you don't like both of it, you barely make any money, and what kind of life is that? Or I think that, you're more powerful, you can big your dreams, and you can do whatever you want to do. Like, I want to be a public speaker, I'm doing it, dude. Just one day I got up and said, you know what, it was 2013. I wasn't feeling good, and I always know to help out other people make me feel good. So I started doing videos about how to do real estate. I started giving stuff that people charge thousands of dollars for, totally for free. And before I knew it, I was feeling much better. And people were hitting me up and say, thanks, dude. Here's my check. Here's what I did. Here's where I've gone. And from there, here we are today, just doing the same thing now and learning from it. Did I know what to do? Absolutely not. I've never known what to do. When I started my moving company, I didn't know what to do, guys. I was scared shitless. When I started my brokerage firm, I didn't know what to do. I was scared shitless. When I did my investment business, I know what to do. No, I did not. When I first did my YouTube channel, did I know what to do? Absolutely not. Did I know how to edit the videos? Absolutely not. Did anyone? No, I didn't know how to. Do I know what to do now? Absolutely not. I don't know what to do. But here's the thing, I'm doing it. And by me doing it, the moons and the stars line up. So there's this thing called, whatever you want to call it, infinite intelligence. You can call it the ether, you can call it a supercomputer, you can call it whatever. And this thing is will line up for you as long as you become a creator versus, debt slave. So as long as you become a creator versus a debt slave, then, things will line up for you. And many of us don't understand this mystery part, and it's hard to explain it, but Napoleon Hill tried to explain it. The guy that wrote Force versus Power tried to explain it. I'm trying to explain it. And many other people, that Napoleon Hill wrote about, and went out there talk about sitting there and waiting for ideas to come to them. So even in the book Thought, he talks about it. So, anyways, guys, I believe in you, and you can be your dreams. And the very first thing to do is just to say, hey, instead of getting a job, maybe I could be an entrepreneur. As simple as that. That's all it takes, because that's all you need. That's not that little sparkle. Instead of getting a job, maybe I could be an entrepreneur. Maybe instead of working another 10 hours with this company every day and another hour driving there and coming back, 11, I'll put that 11 hours every day into my business. Every day I work 11 hours. I mean, just like if I was getting paid $10, $50, whatever, 100,000, doesn't matter. An hour, I'll do the same thing like that, but instead of working half-assed, because a lot of people I know are working less for themselves. Like at their job, they're giving it, 50%, 70% for their own business, they're giving it 10. I'm like, dude, it should be like the other way. If you're half-assed at your business, at your job, and they're paying you, then you're fucked up, dude. You should give 110% so you can learn and you can climb up. But that's a different story. But if you're half-assing at your job, let's say 70%, then at your business, at your own business, you should do 100%, 110%. You shouldn't just do 10, 20, 30. You shouldn't do the same that you do at your job. If your job doing 110%, then here you got to do 120%, 130%. So because it's your business, it's your future, it's what you can do. It's the thing that's going to open the gateway to the moons and the stars for you and your family. It's the thing that's going to help you pay off the debt. It's going to help you if you want to consume and accumulate to do that thing, whatever that is, whatever your consumption and accumulation it is. I'm not judging you, but it's going to help you do that. If you want to have freedom to spend time with your kids and family, then an entrepreneur is going to do that, right? Is it a risk? Absolutely, guys. You got to realize that to be an entrepreneur or to be a job worker or just to be alive, there's risk. Risk is everywhere. When you eat food, you can choke and die. People happen. That's why there's signs at the restaurants. When you drive from A to B, you can get in a car wreck and you can die. So that's part of life. So risk is everywhere. Now, do you want to take a risk and be your dreams and have freedoms and have the accumulations and riches that you dream about? Or do you want to have a job where it promise you a little this like this, and then maybe you get it, maybe you don't. Like they promise so many people pensions, okay, and now the pensions are not here, or they're going to go bust, or they promise so many people like Social Security, and a little letter you get that says, hey, this may not be here for your time, the taxpayer. So is that a risk? Where government regulations, companies can go to India, go to Pakistan, or go, and you lose your job. Is that a risk? Is technology coming and taking over, your Walmart job, or scanning your McDonald's, or getting, blockchain is going to be taking out real estate. It's going to be taking out title companies. It's going to be taking out bankers. So is that a risk? I don't know, man. So entrepreneurship, I think, is the way to go versus having a job. They're both risky. So if you want just to guarantee, then I think the job is it. Okay, and I said I think because I don't believe 100%. Okay, because there's no guarantee in life. Right, but if you want the freedom, there is risk with it. You have to work hard. Right, but what is working hard? And I say hard because many of us think it's hard. What is working hard? Working hard doesn't have to be hard. At some point in my life, when I was starting my moving company, I loved it. I didn't even realize I was working. At some other part of my life, when I still had my moving company 7 years afterwards, it was working hard because I had to work hard. I didn't enjoy it, but I had to go do stuff. I had to manage people and do marketing and still be attached to it. I had 3 other businesses to run. So at that time, I didn't enjoy it, so that it became working hard. But if you want to do your dreams, the way you approach it is going to determine if it's working with love and easy, if it's working hard. Okay, if you love it, like the first 7 years of my moving company, then I loved it. It was part of my DNA. I ate it, I shed it, I dreamed it, etc. And I was making it so exciting. But the next 7 years of the business, I didn't want to own it, the business anymore. But it's grown, it's making money, and what could I do? I was already branched out to better things like real estate, and so I just did it. But it was hard not because I had to go do hard work or do the moves or anything. I wasn't even at the office, but it was hard because I was still had ownership of it, or I had to do things I didn't want to do. That's what I'm trying to get to. I had to do things I didn't want to. But for example, right now I do videos. I love what I do, and so it's not hard. Anytime that it becomes hard, then I'm gonna stop doing it, and because that's not love for it anymore. Okay, and so if you're doing a business and and it's hard for you or you don't like it, then it's really not something you should be doing, right? But if you like it and you enjoy it, you know that you're still gonna have resistance and being sore and stuff like that. But if you like it, then this is the right thing for you guys. Anyways, hustle and bustle, don't take no for answer, and make your dreams come true, guys. See you.